Welcome to These Are the Blades of Our Lives, the figure skating show where I talk to you about figure skating like it is drama for our mamas. Guys, it has been a while because I have been on vacation. I was having a fabulous time in Cancun, Mexico, which, by the way, means nest of snakes. Yes, that's what it means. But anyhow, I literally took my laptop with me on vacation, deluding myself into thinking that I would do figure skating videos. Guys, I never opened that laptop. I am so sorry. I was too busy by the pool. I was too busy just enjoying my best life in Cancun. So nothing was made, no videos. I literally had like 3 videos planned. I made nothing. So as a result, I am now trying to do a mad dash to catch up on everything. And honestly, I thought like the season was over. I could do my last video, which was gonna be the World Team Trophy, and then that would be it for figure skating. No, there has just been so much drama going on in figure skating because figure skating is so dramatic that now I have to do several videos about all the dramas that are going on in figure skating. But I'm gonna start it off with a recap, a very late recap of the 2025 World Team Trophy. So I honestly thought Japan was going to win this. I thought that the ISU, the International Skating Union, owed Japan a little bit of something, and I thought they were going to reward them with the World Team Trophy. No, I was completely wrong. No. The whatever bargain was made for the U.S., I thought it was going to be only applicable to Worlds. No, it is continuing on. I guess it's a whole year-long situation they have going on. So in the team standing, the U.S. won by a good 16 points, followed by Japan. Again, I was wrong. I thought Canada had a slight chance of maybe walking away with a medal here, but no, Italy. I think this might be a premonition to what we can expect come the Olympic, which is going to be in Italy on home ice. Italy was in 3rd place here. France, very surprising, very surprising. France was in 4th place here. Canada was in 5th place, and Georgia was all the way in 6th place. So going through the disciplines, starting with the pairs, Japan's Rika Miura and Ryuichi Kihara were the obvious winners here. This was, I would say fairly won. I would say this was fairly won. The short new season best, of course. This was, probably one of the best short they have, as I stated all season. They didn't give them the emotional, sad songs that they usually give to this team, which I don't feel like they needed. Instead, they gave them, some more appropriate music. And I felt like this short program really did cater to their strength. In 2nd place was Sarah Conti and Nicolo Macchi. The Italian teams looked very strong in the short program. There were, a little bit of mistakes in the long program, but they looked very strong in the short program. And I would have to say that I was very much impressed by them. I would have to say that I was very much impressed by Sarah Conti and Nicolo Macchi. I thought as the season progressed, because of what happened last season, because of like them not being a pressure cooker kind of pair, that they would slowly, gradually fade, but they simply kept getting stronger, and I was quite amazed. In 3rd place was Anastasia Meltonkina and Luka Barilova. Again, I do think this team has incredible technical component. And again, I'm still asking, where the hell are the judges getting the PCS scores that they're giving to this team? I was fully expecting this team to be scored as high as they were, because as I've stated before, Georgia is currently Russia 2.0 with the inherent bonuses that the Russians get. Added to that, this team is coached by Ekaterina, and as such, they do get the Ekaterina PCS bonus, even if they're literally, guys, I admit, and I have admit, that I don't like this team, and I especially do not like Luka because of what he did to his last partner, and because of just, he doesn't come off as a nice person. But if you were just watching the skating, if you literally watch their programs, they literally do one difficult element and then crossovers. There's literally no choreography to their program. There is no in-between skating. They have no connections to each other. They have no connection to the music. Literally, I know that I'm biased against this team, and I fully admit my bias. But even if I take away my bias and I just literally just watch their program, there is no program. Therefore, I'm trying to understand their PCS score, and it's baffling me because there's no program. There is no skating. There's crossover and difficult element. And I admit they have beautiful element. Their twists, their throws, their side-by-side jumps, their lifts. I fully admit that. But where's the skating that we're giving them the PCS score for? The Olympic year is going to be difficult for me. Oh, good Lord. Unfortunately, Diana Stiletto Dudek and Maxime Deschamps continue to struggle. They struggle in the short and they struggle in the free. The throws, which when they land the throws are just a thing of beauty, but they have struggled with their throws this entire season. However, I do firmly believe in highs and lows in figure skating and in life. And I do think that skaters often struggle and then come back next season. And I am praying, because I am a big fan of this group. Again, you guys know I have harped on this, and I will continue to harp on this. I personally believe the only way to save figure skating is to have skaters, pairs, ice dance, singles who have careers of longevity. Because I believe only from longevity can you build champion. Only by building champion can you build fandom. Only by having strong fandom can you have a sport thrive. And so for me to have Diana's story in figure skating, giving hope to so many skaters that they don't have to end their careers at 17, at 18, at 20, at 21, that they can continue to have a long and fruitful career. I love this story. So I am biased in favor of this pair. And I admit to my biases all the time. I want them to come back for the Olympic season strong. Unfortunately, they are struggling right now. So I'm going to have to go to Dollar Tree, $1.25 Tree, and I'm going to have to, dig deep into my pocket and buy those candles. Because, Lord, we're going to have to pray them back into peak condition for next season. In fifth place was Alyssa Efrenova and Misha Metronova. Another team that I really, really like. I do like this team. I love their short program this season, the Spanish flavor to it. I really like their long program this season. I honestly think if Alyssa can get a landing rate on her jump to like 68%, just 68%, I think this team could do amazing. They have everything else that you could want in a team. They're side by side. I would say they have at least a 93% accuracy of landing. It's just that side by side. If we can, and the twists sometimes, for some reason, sometimes their twists are fabulous. Sometimes the twist just came off all like, whoa. But if they could get the twists together and then land the side by side 67 to 73%, I'm willing to get behind this team, even though they can't go to the Olympics. And then, in sixth place was the married pair of Kamil Kovalev and Pavel Kovalev. I felt like they did what they were capable of doing. And again, I'm hoping them to have a better outing next season. Moving on to men. Men pretty much did not go as I expected at all. Men was a delightful surprise, a sad surprise, an emotional hot mess. I was all over the place at men. I'm going to start at the bottom with men. I'm trying to recall, does Georgia not have a second men that was eligible for the World Team Trophy? Because I honestly felt like if they did have a second man who was eligible for the World Team Trophy, again, I'm going to say this because I'm biased. The World Team Trophy is such an incredible opportunity for skaters to get money. Mind you, figure skating is an incredibly expensive sport. So going to the World Team Trophy for any skater, it being before the new season start, it's a great opportunity for them to get the funding that they need for the following season. Now, if Georgia did have a second male team that they could have sent, the only reason I could think of them sending Maurice Kitalashvili is because he's under Ekaterina, and Ekaterina gets 30% of all of these skaters. So it was like they put in Maurice because of Ekaterina's power over the Georgian Federation to put money in Ekaterina's pocket. Because I could not understand why they would not send their second men if they had one. Maurice has been retired unofficially doing Ekaterina's show and his genie full body painting job for the past like what, two years. So why would the Georgian Federation dust him off and put him in this competition, taking away a competitive opportunity from one of their other skaters, as well as funding opportunity from their other skater? I'm gonna have to look to see if they did have another senior male who could have been here, because I don't understand why they would have sent Maurice. And we got to see that Maurice jump technique. I had no idea what kind of jump he was doing. If it was a flux, if it was a lutz, if it was a plux, if it was a toe. I have never been able to decipher Maurice's jumps, and I could not decipher them here. I don't. I'm gonna. Okay. In 11th place was Nikolai Momola. I just feel like a lot of the skaters in all disciplines just looked a little bit exhausted at this event. I think this has been an incredibly long season. These skaters have skated tirelessly all season, and I think it's understandable that some of them would be exhausted here. And Nikolai was definitely one of those skaters who looked like he was like, I'm done. I'm ready. Let me get a good rest. So this is all the short program. And then in 10th place, Aleska Rakin did as I was expected. Roman Sadovsky, again, better than I was expected. Nika Gidza, oh, Lord. I don't have nothing to say. I'll just skip that. Daniel Grasso, the judges are still very generous with his under rotation as well as his edges. Kevin Amos, it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't a total implosion. Again, I'm going to have to hit the $1.25 tree for some candles for Kevin Amos. Good Lord. Shun Soto. I don't know why the judges do not like Shun, but the judges do not seem to be generous to Shun Soto. Again, more candles will have to be bought because we're going to have to figure it out this Olympic season. Yuma Kageyama continues to struggle. The season is ending and he has yet to do 2 clean programs all season. As we all know, this is not a talent thing. This is not a skill thing. This is a very talented, very skilled skater. This is obviously and completely a mental thing. And the only thing to be done at this point is to hire a mental coach, to hire a sports psychologist to boost his confidence and get him to do this. Adam Sion-Hemfa seems to be mending. I honestly thought once he got injured, he should have just taken off the entire season and just recuperated for the Olympics. But I guess it's very hard for skaters to do this. They need to compete to keep themselves in the judges' mind as well as to earn funding from their federation for the next season. So I know he didn't want to put himself in a bad position for the Olympic season, so I got it. Ilya had a very, very good short program. Again, I've stated before, I really do like that short program for him. It's very teenage angst. It's very him. It's very true to who he is. So I do like this short program for him. And then we got to, oh, of course, in third place was, and even though he was in the first place, I'm doing it last because, as you guys know, I'm incredibly biased towards Jason Brown. And this just, it gave me everything. It gave me everything. I love Jason Brown. And then we got to the free program and I loved him even more. I'll go from top to bottom. Ilya won this event. And I'm going to say that again. This has been a very long season. The fact that he struggled in the long program at this event, I don't think means anything. I think it means he's tired. He's been doing show all year. He's been competing at peak level all year. And he's now reached a point where he's tired. I would be surprised if he didn't reach a point where he was tired. He's not a super person. He's a person. Then we got to Jason Brown, who finally gave me this free program cleanly. It was everything I wanted and more. I loved it. And he came out in second place. I'm, again, Dollar Tree, $1.25 tree. The candle rack is going to be emptied out as I wheel Jason Brown to that Olympic team. I will be praying to all the figure skating entities, to all the deities to get Jason Brown to this Olympic team and hopefully to an Olympic medal. In third place was Daniel Grasso. Again, we are heading towards an Olympic and Italy. Italy is definitely trying to get themselves some contenders, not only for like the team medal, which they obviously want to win, but also individual medals. I did not like either of Daniel Grasso's program this season. I especially did not like his long program. I don't like his jump technique. It looks awkward. And I think all of his jumps are under rotated. And he doesn't understand which edge he's on. I don't know if he's going to make corrections for next season. And if he doesn't make corrections, I don't know if the judges will continue to be as generous to him as they were this season. They probably will, given the politics of figure skating. In fourth place was Shun Sato. I don't know how to make the judges like Shun Soto. Well, first, Shun Soto needs to be consistent. I think that would be the first thing that needs to happen, is for Shun Soto to get some consistency. He's another skater that has not skated 2 clean programs this entire season. I do think Shun has a lot of potential, but I feel like for him to really make an impact for next season, for him to really set himself apart in that deep field of Japanese skaters next season, he's going to have to figure out his consistency issue, because Japan men, it's just too deep for him to be as inconsistent as he is and for him to be able to really maintain his position. And then he's going to have to figure out how to win over the judges, because the judges never give Shun a break. They always go to hammer him. And then poor Yuma Kageyama continued to not deliver this free program. I literally have been waiting all season for him to deliver this long program so I can see it in the full vision that it was meant to be. But he has yet to do that. So, and that's a little disheartening. I honestly think he should just keep both of his programs for the Olympic season. Again, because he has not really skated either of these programs to the full potential. And even if he gets rid of the short program, because he has skated the short program clean, I think he should keep the free program, because he hasn't skated that free program clean all season. But then there's a lot of people who think it's like something of a jinx to keep a free program that you haven't skated well. So I don't know. And then in sixth place is Adam Sionhenfa, who continues to also not be consistent. At least he skated a fairly clean short program, which he has struggled with all season. So all season, he's like bombed the short program, and then he had to come back from like 17th, 13th place and fight his way back onto the podium. At least this time he skated a fairly clean short program and then an okay free program to end up in 6th place. But he's going to have to figure out a way to do both a decent short program and a good free program. Because, again, I think the judges are going to get tired of him doing the comeback story. I hope he changes his choreographer. The whole Benoit thing, he's done it for several seasons now. I would like to see him try another choreographer to see how he grows. But again, it is going to be an Olympic season. And do you want to really make that drastic of a change during your Olympic season? Or do you want to stay in your level of comfort? And I could definitely see Adam deciding to remain comfortable and deciding to continue with the Benoit process that he's on. We're going to have to wait and see. Very happy for Kevin here with his 7th place. It wasn't a clean free, but again, my standard for each skaters differ a little, and my biases towards each skater differs a little, which is very human. Anyone who says they don't have biases, they don't have preference, they're completely neutral, is full of bullshit. My hope for Kevin is mainly for him to be consistent, because he really scared us with how he was completely falling apart in his skating. So for me, it doesn't have to be perfect at every outing. I just want him to mostly be good and to continue with the consistency. Nikolai managed to get a little more energy here and make a comeback. I was very happy for him. He's ending his season on a relatively even kilt. Roman, again, very, very happy for Roman. Again, with Kevin and Roman, my expectations are the same. Don't implode, keep it together, and that will make me happy. Nika gets I have nothing to say. Sometimes the jumps are clean, which is good. There is no program. He's got no skating skills. And if the jumps don't work, and that's the problem. That is why I don't like jump-oriented only skaters. It's not that I don't enjoy good jumps. I love me some good jumping. Listen, I'm all about the girthy jumps. I enjoy skating in its entirety, both the artistic part and the technical part. So when you give me a beautiful jumper, oh my God, I will forego the fact that their program might not have much skating, and I will enjoy the jump. However, when you have a skater that is only jump and the jumps go badly, then you have nothing. And that's what we have with Nika Igitsa. It's a jumper that has no skating skills, and his programs are poorly choreographed. So when those jumps go, everything goes. This was very hard to watch. And it was already hard to watch him when he was clean. So when he's not clean, it's even harder. And then I just think for Aleska, this was just a good opportunity for him. And then Moritzi Kitelashvili. I think he should go back to his Genie Blue. And I think Georgia should, if they have another man, give that opportunity to the other men instead of trying to put money in daddy's pocket. That's what I feel. And then we got to the dance. Oh my goodness. I'm surprised at what is going on in dance. Well, not really surprised, because dance is such a political beast that I'm not necessarily surprised, but at the same time I am surprised. So I will start with the rhythm dance. So in the rhythm dance, of course, as expected, the little Japanese skaters were in 6th place, and they took a horrible fall, and so I was very scared for them. I always feel like when skaters fall, like There should be a referee that stops the program, and then they shouldn't compete anymore and just focus on their health. But we all know that's not gonna happen. Then in 5th place in the short program was Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin. I am incredibly biased. I think I say that all the time. And I try to be fair with this pair. And I'm going to tell you why. Because my issue is with Ekaterina. I do not like the coaching practices of Ekaterina and her 2 minions, her 2 henchmen, that being Daniel Gleichenhaus and Sergei Dudakov. I do not like their coaching practices. I don't like their abusive practices. I don't like the fact that they're making so much money off of these children that they're abusing and breaking. And I try not to extend that to Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin, given that Diana Davis is Ekaterina's daughter. The problem is Diana Davis benefits from Ekaterina. That's just a fact, which makes it very difficult for me to disentwine the two. For me, they're constantly intertwined. Now, adding on to that, I could have been a little more partial if Diana Davis actually had the talent to make up the difference. But she doesn't. Gleb Smokin has really good basics. Gleb Smokin is a good partner. Diana Davis is not. Yet, I feel like the judges are going to continue to push Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin to the top. And in a sport like ice dance, in a discipline like ice dance, where it's often a joke, I just feel like that's gonna just make it that much more of a joke. Their programs this season, Gitchy Gitchy Ya Ya Da Da. Given how stiff Diana Davis is, and I doubt she's ever seen the movie Moulin Rouge to actually understand what the movie is about and how she should be moving. That was just such a horrible, horrible choice. And then the awkward lifts that they have in their free dance. Every lift they have, I'm just like, why? She's bent over like a pretzel. I get it. She's flexible, but you could be flexible and it could look attractive. Why are we bending this child over like a pretzel? I really felt like Ekaterina need to go have a talk with Marie-France Dubry and say, listen, if you're going to take my good poo and money, you had better start giving my daughter some decent looking program. Because I am not an Ekaterina fan, and I am not a Diana Davis or Gleb Smokin fan. But even I was like, I took your money and gave you 2 of the shittiest programs I saw this season. Please go find you some other choreographer. Even if you decide to stay with them as your coaches, go find you some other choreographer. Then in 4th place was Evgenia Larapova and Jeffrey Bessard. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of this team. I cannot wait to see what happens with them. Now, this is where things get interesting. In the rhythm dance, it went as I was expecting. Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabri were in 3rd place. Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier were in 2nd place. Madison Chock and Evan Bate were in 1st place. But what is interesting is the fact that the judges have created such a gap between the top 3. They are the message that the International Skating Union, ISU, is sending is that they have already predetermined Madison Chock and Evan Bate as the Olympic champion. They are giving them such a cushion in the rhythm dance, that even if they have a fall in the free dance, they might still win with their cushion in the rhythm dance. That is the message that I'm seeing that they're sending to everyone. More importantly, they are also solidifying that Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier are now firmly the second place team, because they are now a whole almost 3 points ahead of Charlene Gennard and Marco Fabri. Now you're thinking like 3 points is nothing. No. In singles and in pairs, 3 points is nothing. But in ice dance, 3-point is gigantic, because in ice dance, you literally need to fall on a major element for you to literally have a 3-point gap. The judges are making it very clear that they are not going with the Italian team, which to me is so interesting. I think they are clearly stating they have room for another team to come. Maybe the second American team, maybe the second Canadian team, maybe another upcoming formed team to beat the Italians. And then the same thing happened in the free dance, but it was even worse. Of course, in the free dance, the Japanese team, Utana Yoshida and Masamaya Morita, they were, of course, in 6th place. As I've been yapping, Evgenia Leopova and Jeffrey Bassard were put behind Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin. I don't know what white envelope dinner these judges were smoking, where they felt like Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin could outskate Evgenia and Jeffrey. But I already saw this coming, so I'm not even going to harp on this. What I am going to harp on is the fact that the judges gave Piper and Paul 10 points. They put them 10 points ahead of Marco and Charlene. This was a clear smack in the face of the Italian. Again, I was telling you in the rhythm dance, 3 points in ice dance is huge. Now the judges gave them 10 points. That was a clear smack to Marco and Charlene. Like, if they do not get their act together, they may not be on the podium at a home Olympic. And the thing is, I cannot say I disagree with the judges. And I'm going to blame this completely on Barbara Fusapoli. You have the most technically proficient of all 3 top teams. Let us be bluntly clear. The Italians have better skating quality, better speed, better skating edge, better skating control than both Piper and Paul and Madison and Evan. However, Barbara has packaged this team horrendously for years. This season, they made such a ginormous misstep with the 10-man onesies that they came out for their program at the beginning of the year. And I feel like now they probably will be beaten by the British. I'm seeing Lila and Lewis beating them at the Olympic, and they opened themselves up for that beating because of the way Barbara Fusapoli has packaged this team. If they do not get their act together for the Olympic year, they may not only will Lila and Lewis beat them, but I think the second American team and the second Canadian team might also beat them. I can see them being a 6th level team, because the judges are sending them a clear signal: we don't like your material. So they were 10 points behind Piper and Paul. And Piper and Paul were like 2 points or something behind Madison and Evan. Oh my God, the Olympic season is going to be politically shark-infested, snake in the grass. And I am here to be all about it. And then finally, we got to the women. Honestly, guys, after what happened at Worlds, I thought the good feelings towards America, especially towards the women, was done. It was over. It was finito. We were going to get back to the standard. But no, apparently not. It was not the situation, because after the short program, America reigned. So starting from the bottom, the retired skater Alina Ushades from Georgia was in 12th place. Unfortunately, the jumps just didn't work for her. The jumps were a struggle. And then in 11th place was Leah Serna, an okay skater. I started watching her program, and then the video got cut. And then next thing we knew, we were in Sarah Maud Dupree's program. And I really like Sarah Maud Dupree. I think she's such a girthy jumper. I know she doesn't have control of her jumps yet, but she's such a girthy jumper. And she's such a musically inclined, performative skater that I am definitely a fan. I wish she could like get more consistency in her jump. Another skater. Oh my God. And this is the only woman skater competing right now that I would love to see do a quad. And that is Anna Pezita. Oh my God, guys. The girthiness of her jump. Oh, those jumps when she gets them right. They're so beautiful that I just want to drool. Oh, if she could get jumping consistency. This is the only skater that is competing right now for the women that I would really like to see compete a quad. Laureen Charles. Guys, this is a skater, much like many of the French skaters. When she goes to jump, the jump technique is so wonky that I used to be like on the verge of a heart attack. Her jumps are being fixed. The jump technique is becoming more stable, a little less crazy. Amazing. Amber Glenn, again, not the short program she was looking for. She did the triple axel. She went for it. She fell. She took a hard fall. And I think that sort of like knocked the wind out of her. It happens. It happens. It happens. Madeline Shrizar, again, another really, really good short program for Madeline. I think Skizas. I always revert to her old name. It's Skizas. Madeline Skizas. Again, Madeline has potential. There is potential there. We just need to work on the consistency. Lara Naki-Goodman making a strong case for herself as the leading Italian woman going into the Olympic. And they only have one spot. And so I am a little torn because I'm a huge fan of Lara Naki-Goodman. I think she has some of the most unique programs. She has a perspective. She knows who she is as a skater. And I absolutely adore watching her skate. And yet, at the same time, I'm also a fan of Anna's ginormous jumps. So I'm very torn to see what's going to happen with the Italians with only one spot for the women. And then in 5th place in the short program was Mona Chiba. Again, a skater who's going through ups and down, which I'm okay with. I'm waiting to see what she's gonna do for her first Olympic cycle, how she deals with the pressure. I'm waiting to see that. Anastasia Gubanova. Oh, I was so happy for Anastasia here. A wonderful, wonderful, absolutely just wonderful short program. I know how much and a season's best too. I know how much she struggled at Worlds, not even making it to the long program. And to see her come back here and fight, very happy to see that. Kaori Sakamoto. I'm never concerned about Kaori Sakamoto. She's one of those skaters who's fairly consistent, but she did struggle this season. Like, if I'm being completely honest, Kaori did struggle this season. And I do feel like it does have to do with the layout of her jumps. I think they need to figure out a really good layout for her jumps for next season. Because with Kaori, she always gets 2 programs. The 2 programs always start off skating her at the beginning of the season, and then she settles into the programs at the end of the season. And so I'm not worried about the kind of programs she gets. What I am worried about is the layout of her jumps and how they affect her consistency. Alyssa continues with her consistency. Another clean short program here. One of my favorite short program of the season. She seems so relaxed. She seems so happy. She seems so unbothered, like she's living her best life. There were a little bit of changes in the long program. Alina still remained last. Anna dropped another spot. Sarah Maud Dupree also dropped. Lena Cerna stayed exactly where she was. Laureen Charles stayed more or less where she was. Again, those jumps looking really good, looking more consistent. Madeline Skizas continues with the inconsistency in the long program. And I think that is what's going to keep her from reaching her peak, is that long program. She can skate a good short program, but she just has not built that stamina for that long program. So we're going to have to watch closely to see how she does with that, in the coming season, the Olympic season. The rest of the spots remain the same, more or less. Laura Naki Goodman, a 6th place finish here, very, very good for her. Mona Shiba could not overcome, and remain behind. Anastasia Gorbanova, again, very happy for Anastasia Gorbanova finishing 4th here. A really good boost of confidence for her, because in September she's going to have to go to China to try to qualify for that Olympic spot. So I think this outing here is very good, a nice boost of confidence for her. Kaori Sakamoto, dropping to 3rd place, probably not the way she wanted to end the season. Let's see if this is a motivating factor for her for next season. Amber Glenn definitely came back fighting, landing her triple axel. I really am liking this side of Amber Glenn, in that she is not giving up on her program. She's not giving up on herself. She is fighting. And with her in 2nd place, we had a US 1-2. Alyssa Liu continues her clean program, continues to get season best. Do I think her scores are a little inflated? Yes. I'm hoping that for the Olympic season, the judges become a little more fair in their, judging. But I am a big fan of Alyssa. She is very consistent. She's been clean all season. I can understand why the judges are rewarding her, but I do think it is a little inflated. All in all, guys, this is my very, very, very late recap of the 2025 ISU World Team Trophy. This was a great event. I had a blast watching it. I hope you guys enjoyed the recap. I have like a couple of more videos I need to make before I wrap up this season, so I'll be putting those out hopefully soon.